Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans farm. We got a ton of snow last night. Well, a ton of snow in the sense that we haven't had any snow really all season. And this is like our first, I don't know, 3-4 inches. It's snowing quite rapidly just because the ground temperature is so warm. Well, it's pretty deep right here. Must be where it drifted. What do you think, Dace? Come on. So I'm bringing my shoes down to walk around the greenhouse. And I'm wearing my boots to walk through the snow because in the greenhouse with muck boots on is just way too hot. I had no clue how many mints there were until we started working in the greenhouses. Here we have a strawberry mint, which smells exactly like strawberries. There's a chocolate mint, it smells exactly like chocolate. Over here we have the mojito, which more of you probably know what mojito is because of the drink. Then over here we have a pineapple. And I don't think this one smells as much like actual pineapples as the other ones say what they smell like. And then there's obviously the peppermint and spearmint, which is pretty common. And then there's also like an orange mint, and I think there might even be an apple mint, and I think a couple others. That's just the ones we grow right here. I had no clue even that many varieties existed. I would say probably the most popular is the chocolate. And it's not because it's used that much, it's mostly because most people have never even heard or smelled chocolate mint, but I can assure you it smells just like what it says. So I never really get to transplant myself, so I'm gonna start transplanting some celosia. I say celosia, I guess it's pronounced celosia. Tomato, tomato, I guess. So once I get my tray filled, I'll take my poker, start at about the best I can, and then make my holes. Just like that. Now my pap, and I think Sammy too, kind of like to just take a single and do it, each one, but I like to go as fast as possible, so I use that thing. One thing for sure is this is not my fastest job. Maybe it's because I don't do it enough. I don't know. So out of that tray, I got 5 flats. And now it's time to tag them. Sammy just showed up. She is in her socks.
Stop it.
She's still on flats right now. Right now, she's working on vinca, which we actually have a lot of them to plant, or we did anyway. We had at least 3, maybe 4 varieties. There's the tattoo blueberry, tattoo raspberry, Pacifica XP. Oh, and there's Mediterranean lipstick. That's already 4 or 5. Mom and I started wearing these hats. My ears seem to burn really fast, and Daisy's just chilling.
That's satisfying.
So I don't know if you can buy these or not.
What are we gonna do with these? They're beautiful.
It looks homemade. I'd have to ask my cousin if it was homemade, he made it.
I love
If you can buy it, I'll let you guys know because I have got questions before about it. Here's the alyssum that we got a couple weeks ago. You can see all the little tiny baby flowers on there. Here, Sammy, I got something for you.
Aww.
A video or two ago, Mom trimmed all our hanging baskets and now she wants to fertilize them. And we're gonna use a 17-4-17 fertilizer and mix that 200 parts per million. So here we have our fertilizers. I wanna say this is the 17-4. No, it's 15, 16, 17. Here's 17-4. If that's not enough, I'll have to get the new bag opened up. First, I gotta put my measuring cup on there and zero that. Okay, so that's good. Now, I need to look at the bag, and I always forget. I have to look on here and see what the mixture is I have to mix it at. Okay, so if you can read that, it's kind of wrinkled. Our injector or our dosatron is pumping at 1 to 100, and we need to mix that 200 parts per million. So that means we need 15.88, I think it's ounces of fertilizer to the gallon. We were mixing 100 parts right there at 7.94, so we just did 8. And this time I might just do 16, I don't know. We'll see how easy it is to get it to that, you know, 15.88 per gallon. And I'm gonna be doing 3 gallons, so that'll be, well, if it's 16 ounces per gallon, roughly it'll be like 48 ounces. So now I can take and dump the fertilizer in my bucket. And I'll actually take this measuring cup down with me. And we're gonna head down to the barn because that's where we have a hot water spigot. So then I'll just dump that right in there. Fill this up 2 more times yet. Fertilizing is very important because if you mix up not enough, it really isn't going to do anything, especially if it's not the right mixture. Like if I wanted to help these plants out and they're really big and I only did 100 parts per million, basically it's going to do nothing to the plants. If the plants are really small, like kind of seedlings, I mixed up 200 parts per million, what's going to happen is they're basically just going to grow all stem and not be rooted at all. Mom's over here still trimming.
I'm just about done.
So here we are now the next day. As you've seen, I mixed up fertilizer yesterday. And so we're gonna start fertilizing some things today. Mostly our hanging baskets and our planters. We are seeing a little bit of a problem, we think, in some of our million bells and I think like bacopa and stuff like that. we're just a little bit nervous that stuff like this right here, it's kind of just a little poof ball and it's loaded with blossoms, it's pushing blossoms, and we want to see that obviously get a lot bigger before it starts pushing like that. We're going to try and do a little bit of an experiment. We're going to put aside 3 of the same pots. One is going to be a 17-4-17 mixture, 100 parts per million. One's going to be a 17-4-17 mixture as well, but that's going to be at 200 parts per million. And then we're going to do another one with the 15-16-17 at 125 parts and see what happens. It's basically just trial and error. We are not experts at this by no means yet. We know a lot. We've been doing it now. I think this is our 3rd year, but there's guys who have been doing it for 20 and 30 and 40 years. So we try not to keep asking everybody for help. We do like to get tips and tricks here and there, but it's also kind of fun learning ourselves. So like I said, some things like our petunias here, they're not pushing blossoms at all. They're nice, they're green, they're big, and they're healthy. That's exactly what we want to see. I'm going to start off today spacing different flowers here in the greenhouse. It's getting to be that time. It's actually worse when you wait longer, because the bigger the plants get, the harder it is to get the water lines in there, because they get more leaves down here on the bottom. I think I hear a cry out here. Might be Pat. Him and Sammy are going to start transplanting again today. Wow, and the non-stop mocha mix tuberous begonias are starting to come out and blossom. I love these ones. There's a red. This is like a maroonish or a purple that hasn't come out yet. Right here is the white. There's the pink. And I know there's a yellow. I just don't think they're coming out yet. You can see on the tag all the colors. There's an orange. Hap has been begging to plant basil, and it's just now finally ready. It's just on the verge of being a little too small, but I think it'll be okay. But here's what it looks like. What are you gonna do today, Daisy? So we got a shipment last night. Mom's opening it up now. This is our scented geraniums. They're a little dry. They look pretty nice. So we have a little change of plans. We talked to a plant specialist, and we're gonna go with the 15-16-17 at 200 parts for stuff like the million bells and the hanging baskets and planters and stuff like that, to hopefully stretch them out more instead of pushing the blossoms like I said. So that's gonna require mixing up another bucket of fertilizer. Whoa. So Mom's just getting ready to fertilize now. She's running the water through the line. I don't know where she's at, over there. So I'm gonna go over here now and grab my 3 test pots. So these 3 are all pretty close. And these are this is the same variety we struggled with the past at least 2, maybe 3 years. I ended up doing 4 pots. Mom just watered this one with what she's doing right now. I labeled it the first watering at 17-4-17, 100 parts per million on 3/9/23. The other one of 17-4 is right here. This is 17-4-17, 200 parts, which she didn't do yet. And then once she's done with that, she's gonna move on to the 15-16-17, 200 parts, as well as the 15-16-17, 125 parts. And so every time we water these, we're gonna label them, the second watering, third watering, and we'll see the differences that they have in about 2 to 3 weeks.
This is good therapy. Honest to God. One side goes up, the other side goes down.
So Dad's sanitizing the last of the flats that we didn't get done earlier in the season. They just had to get apart. That's where I'm calling it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.